What if I told you that some of football's biggest legends almost ended up somewhere completely different? We're not talking about a last-minute change of heart or a club selling their star player. We're talking about the most epic what-if moments in transfer history, where the deals were so close to happening that a single, bizarre event completely changed the course of football forever. From volcanic ash clouds to broken fax machines, these are the stories of the deals that almost happened. Let's start with the ghost in Highbury, a story that still haunts a generation of Arsenal fans. Back in 1982, the club was in a slump. They had just lost their star striker Frank Stapleton, and the team was, to put it politely, toothless in attack. Fans were so frustrated they were booing and slow hand-clapping their own players. The club needed a hero, someone with main character energy, and they set their sights on a skinny kid from Argentina who was already a global phenomenon, Diego Maradona. This wasn't a rumor. Arsenal was so serious that they agreed to a massive £4 million deal with Boca Juniors, a fee that would have been a world record at the time. To put that in perspective, that's like a club today dropping over £100 million on a player who's still a teenager. Arsenal was so committed, they even pioneered a new, and at the time controversial, sponsorship deal with Japanese electronics company JVC, just to fund it. But then, a perfect storm of chaos hit. First, a judge in Argentina ruled Maradona couldn't be sold until a debt was paid to his old club, Argentinos Juniors. Annoying, but maybe solvable. Then, the English Football Association vowed to block the deal, with one Labour MP even demanding a government inquiry to curb what he called excessive fees, a move that feels straight out of a grumpy, football dad at the pub rant about the good old days. But the true, soul-crushing deal-breaker was a conflict that had nothing to do with football. The Falklands War broke out on April 2nd, 1982, just weeks after the deal was reportedly agreed upon. Suddenly, a record-breaking transfer for a national hero from the opposing country was politically and socially impossible. Just look at what happened to his countrymen, Ossie Ardiles and Ricky Villa, who were already playing for Tottenham. The war made their lives a nightmare, with Ardiles saying it was the worst moment in my life. He couldn't even return to England for 6 months after the conflict ended. The dream died. Maradona went to Barcelona instead, for a new world record fee of £5 million. Arsenal, meanwhile, scrambled to sign 2 other strikers who were, to be polite, very underwhelming. Even Maradona himself later said he sometimes wonders what might have happened. Our next story is a modern classic, and it's a cautionary tale about the pitfalls of modern-day bureaucracy. The year is 2015. On the final day of the summer transfer window, David de Gea to Real Madrid was a done deal. For months, it was the transfer saga that felt like a movie finale, and everyone knew it was happening. It was a player plus cash deal, with Keylor Navas going to United. But at the last minute, the entire thing collapsed. Why? The documents for the transfer were not submitted to the Spanish league on time, with the final piece of paperwork reportedly arriving just 4 seconds after the deadline. What followed was one of the most infamous blame games in football history. Real Madrid pointed the finger at Manchester United, saying they took too long to send the documents, while United shot back, insisting they had timestamps proving they were on time, with proof the paperwork was received just 4 seconds after the Spanish deadline. It's a hilarious, infuriating example of how one minor administrative hitch can torpedo a multi-million-pound deal and change the course of a club's history. The result? A furious blame game and one of the most memorable transfer collapses of the modern era. De Gea stayed at Old Trafford, won the Premier League, and eventually left as a free agent. But the story of the broken fax machine became a legendary tale of modern football administrative failures. This next story is about loyalty, and what happens when the heart and the head are in a brutal conflict. The year is 2005. Liverpool are fresh off a miraculous Champions League victory in Istanbul, but a distant 5th in the Premier League, a massive 37 points behind rivals Chelsea. Their captain, Steven Gerrard, faced a dilemma that would define his career: loyalty versus ambition. He's a boyhood fan and a club legend, but he wants to win the one title that has always eluded him. The situation escalated quickly. Chelsea came in with a massive £32 million bid, and in a moment of frustration, Gerrard actually handed in a transfer request, much to the anger of Liverpool's fans. The backlash was brutal. Fans burned his jersey outside Anfield and called him a Judas and a traitor. It's the kind of public shaming that would go viral on social media today. But after immense pressure and a profound change of heart, Gerrard turned down the move, deciding that his legacy and connection to the fans were more important than trophies at another club. It's a story that proves the internet and social media are nothing new. The pressure just used to come from angry fans and your agent's phone calls instead of Twitter and Instagram comments. Gerrard stayed with the club, cementing his legacy as a one-club icon and a hero who chose to stay true to his people. Before he became a Manchester United legend, Ruud van Nistelrooy had a truly bizarre transfer saga that proves some things are just meant to be. In May 2000, United agreed to a huge £18.5 million deal for the prolific PSV striker. But during his medical, the club's doctors spotted a minor knee injury, and the deal was put on hold. Just days later, Van Nistelrooy's worst fears were realized. During a training session, he tragically ruptured his cruciate ligament, a career-threatening injury that was caught on video. The transfer was off, and United could have walked away. But Sir Alex Ferguson, a man who always trusted his instincts, showed his unwavering faith. The club's medical staff kept in touch with Van Nistelrooy throughout his long recovery, and a year later, United went back in for him, signing him for a new record fee of £19 million. He went on to become one of the club's most feared goal scorers, a legend who was almost lost before he even began, a story of faith, resilience, and a club sticking by their man. And finally, the most bizarre story of them all. In 2010, Blackburn Rovers, managed by Sam Allardyce, were on the verge of signing a young Polish striker named Robert Lewandowski for just £4 million. Everything was ready, the transfer was agreed upon, and he was set to fly to England to finalize the deal. But then, a volcano in Iceland named Eyjafjallajökull erupted, grounding all flights across Europe due to a giant ash cloud. Lewandowski couldn't make it, and the deal fell through. He signed for Borussia Dortmund instead, and became a generational talent, and one of the best strikers in the world. Think about that. A volcanic eruption and a giant cloud of ash changed football history. If that volcano had stayed quiet, would Lewandowski have become the star he is today? Or would he have just been another forgotten striker who played for Sam Allardyce? It's a question that forever links the absurd chaos of the natural world to the beautiful chaos of football. These stories prove that in football, nothing is guaranteed. A fax machine, a player's heart, a volcanic eruption, or even an international war can change the course of history forever. It's a reminder that the game we love is so much more than what happens on the pitch. So, which one do you think is the craziest? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content just like this.